Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, Kukamatsu. In this episode we're going to be working on the waist unit, so let's jump right in. Okay, we have just a few more things to do to this kit building wise, I think, before we're ready to start thinking about painting. I'm going to do some work on the waist unit today. I'm not really a big fan of the rail guns on the 2.0. It's cool that they fold up like this, but the shape that it creates when they're folded, I don't think is that really that great. I just find it a little maybe too wide or something like that. So I was thinking about using the rail guns from the Strike Freedom. The question is going to be, how am I going to attach that to the waist? What I'm thinking about doing actually is just keeping the connection point from this one, removing the gun itself from the holder and then putting this gun in so that I have the connection there that will still work on the waist unit that I'm using, but then with the new gun. So let me just try that, start taking it apart and see if that's going to work. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the inside of the Freedom 2.0 holder. Let's see if we can figure out a way to get these on here. The holes are never going to match, of course. Just see what we got here. This is 4mm. I assume they're the same. Yep. And then that one is 3mm. So we just need to clear out 1mm from there. I think what I'll do is I'll just drill out that hole and then hopefully they're going to fit on there in a nice way. There's always the possibility that the spacing won't be right, and that's probably the case here. Unfortunately, I was hoping they'd be a little bit wide so you wouldn't really notice it, but actually it's too narrow, so we're going to have to figure out how to do that. Well, what I'm thinking is that if I'm going to move either one of these, the one I want to move is the one that's in the middle, because the one at the back doesn't have a lot of space to go anywhere. So let's just start by drilling this one out to 4mm. I'm just going to start with a regular drill bit, and I'm not going to go straight to 4mm. I'm going to start with 3.5 and just kind of clean this out by hand if I can. I'll go from there up to the 4mm. This one is a bit more into the gray plastic. Very tight on there still. I happen to have reamers that are the right sizes for this kind of stuff, just because I used to build animatronics, but not necessarily something you need. I'm sure I could do it with just a drill bit, but because I have them, I'm just going to use it to create, basically what it's going to do is going to create a rounder hole. Drill bits don't create quite a perfectly round hole, and so reamers are meant to sort of make it a bit more precise. If you didn't have a reamer, you could just take the drill bit and just continue cleaning it out to make it a little bit bigger. Well, that fits on there nicely now. So now there's just the issue of putting this one on where we want it and having enough strength there. Okay, just looking at it, I'm wondering if it's better to keep the peg where it is. I was thinking about moving it, but it would be very difficult to have something that is as strong as that if I move it. The other possibility is to shave off some of each of these sides so that it will then go together in the correct width. Now, okay, I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to trim those down, but what I do want to do is use the peg from the old holder. So what I'm thinking is that I will cut this plate off and be able to use this peg and glue the whole thing to there. It will make it a little bit wider, so I'm going to have to deal with that issue. I think that if I just kind of spread everything out a little bit, it'll still look okay, especially if I do this spreading at the back. So let's start just by chopping this out. And the reason I'm doing this is because basically I want to be able to glue this whole plate to there instead of just the end of a peg. which would not be very strong. So that'll mean removing this peg to get it out of the way. And basically gluing it right in the right spot there. Not a very elegant solution, but I think I just thought of a way to solve the problem, an easy way to solve the problem, and that is to just glue these two to each other in the configuration that I want. I know that that means I will lose the posability factor of them, but I actually kind of just like them together like that. It looks a lot better, so I think that's actually going to be the easiest solution to the whole thing. I might just keep it extended like that, just to expose some of the inner mechanical stuff of the rail gun. But that actually turned out to be pretty easy. Let's quickly do that to the other side as well. Well, it's hard to fit it all in the camera at the moment, but that's basically what we're going for there. I think that's looking pretty cool. I do want to remove some of the detail on this piece and a little bit of the detail on the front skirt. And probably just some sanding, looks like, on the back. Remove some of these extra little fins. We'll see. Maybe there's a little bit to fill as well. So I'm going to sort of do all that at once. This process is going to be pretty similar to the shoulder armor, where I just removed some detail and filled in some other bits with the black super glue. So I'll probably do this as a time lapse, because it's going to be a similar process, and then I'll show you the result at the end. Okay, there we go. I filled in some of the details on the skirt armor there, some of the spaces on the side here, and lots of spaces, a lot of little spaces filled on the back, and also lots of little details removed. I like that a lot better now. I'm really happy with how that turned out. There's still lots of functionality in there so that I can pose it, and whoops, have that one backwards. Making really good progress here. We've touched every aspect of the mobile suit so far. I think after this it'll be a matter of just making sure that everything is where we want it to be, and then onto the backpack. So looking forward to seeing it all together. Thank you very much for watching. That is the end of this week's episode. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like on your way out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.